Joe Wimmer here with your West Bend Loss Control team. Today I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about ladder safety for you weekend warriors looking at completing the job task of cleaning your gutters. As with any task, you want to make sure you have the appropriate personal protective equipment, a good set of eye protection, gloves, long sleeve shirt, and sturdy slip-resistant sole shoes will make sure we get this job task done safely. Now that I have the appropriate personal protective equipment, I want to make sure I have the right ladder for the job task. Make sure that your ladder has a weight capacity that not only accommodates you, but the tools that you'll be using. You also want to make sure that your ladder can extend a minimum of 3 feet beyond the gutter or roof line that you'll be working with. This will help maintain 3 points of contact during your work. Now that we have the right ladder, we have our PPE, let's discuss our setup. We want to make sure that we always set our ladder on a solid, level foundation, such as this sidewalk here. And we want to get our ladder as close to 75 degrees as possible in our setup. An easy way to identify if your ladder is at a good setup angle, close to that 75 degree mark, is to stand with your toes at the footing of the ladder and reach out to the rungs closest to you. If you're at about arm's length away, you're close to that 75 degree mark, and that's probably a pretty good setup. If you notice that the ladder is very close to your body, that ladder is probably set up too steep and you could risk falling backwards during your climb. And if you have to reach too far out for the rungs, your ladder's probably set too shallow and could kick out from under you as you start your climb. So now that we identified we have everything, our ladder set up correctly, let's discuss good ladder practices. As I start my climb up the ladder, I want to make sure that I maintain a minimum of 3 points of contact at all time. I also want to make sure that I have a good, solid hand grasp on the rungs and that I put at least the center or middle of my shoe on each rung. Avoid using fingertip and or tiptoes on the rungs, as your hand and or foot could slip off and you can end up falling. Again, we want to maintain a minimum of 3 points of contact at all time. So that means if you have to climb and or work with tools, make sure you either wear a tool belt and or place, like this hand shovel here, in a pocket so your hands are free for the climb. Now that I know I have my hands free, I have all my PPE, I'm on a level, solid surface, I have a good angle for my ladder, let's start our climb to the gutter line. So again, I'm going to maintain that 3 points of contact and make a nice, slow, steady climb up the ladder. Now that I make my way up to the gutter line, I want to make sure that my body stays within the center of the ladder at all times. This will help make sure that my body weight doesn't kick to the left or the right and cause a fall. I want to work within just an arm's reach of the ladder and again, maintaining a minimum of 3 points of contact. This is where that tool in my pocket comes in and I can use it to start cleaning out my gutter. Now that I realize I have to work further over outside of my arm's reach, I want to come back down and reset the ladder. So now on my descent, again, maintaining 3 points of contact, I want to make sure I have full hand grasps on the rung, and I want to make sure that my feet stay in the middle of each rung on my way down. Now that I'm down on ground surface, I can use the same tips to set up my ladder further over and continue my task of cleaning out the gutters. Hope these tips help you stay safe in your weekend warrior tasks.